You know, it's said that no matter what age, men will always be interested in sex. So, have you noticed that your husband or partner may be losing a little interest? Are you wondering why, and is it bothering you? It could be that they're having some of the same issues that we experience as we get into menopause. That's today's topic on Second Act TV. Dr. Laurie, welcome back one more time. Interesting discussion today. We've talked a lot about what our issues are as we age, especially as it affects our libido and desire and that sort of thing. But when it appears that our husband, our man, our partner, that they're losing desire, that affects us in a whole other way. But it may not be that. It could be.
Right, and so you look at this, and so many women just take it personally
Right.
when their husband or partner doesn't want to have sex with them.
Right.
It doesn't mean that they're not desirable. Okay, there obviously can be issues with the relationship, but let's go beyond that. Let's look at men. So men, as they age, can have hormonal issues just like women.
Yeah.
Okay, and they may have the desire, but they can't get an erection all the time, then they're embarrassed. They don't want to talk to their spouse or partner about it, and then so they avoid it, and then the woman thinks they're not desirable,
yeah,
and it just
we absolutely feel
cycles.
they take that personally. Yeah.
Right.
So what you're saying is that you're seeing cases where the man just does anything but sex to hide the fact that they're having issues.
Exactly. That would be the extreme, because men can't fake an erection. They can't. Women, we can grin and bear it. We can, try to hide that we're in pain.
Yeah.
We can hide
Oh,
that we
yeah.
don't have the desire. Men can't, because we associate as a society. It's like, hey, erection, they're aroused. They
Right.
want me.
Right.
Okay? So it really gets to where communication, talking about it, and it's the man realizing that, hey, there's issues other than the blue pill in the medicine cabinet that needs to be addressed, and the woman realizing, hey, it's not that I'm overweight or out of
Yeah.
shape or he doesn't want me. There's hormonal issues that could go into play that need to be fixed.
So men actually do go through their own menopause.
Correct.
I believe I think we talked earlier. It's andropause. Is that yeah?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Your brother-in-law was on the show and gave us some interesting insight into what happens, to the decline or as the man declines, if you will,
Right.
or ages. And it's all testosterone based or testosterone related.
Yeah, they're a little more simple in terms of the hormone balance. We all have the same hormones, but men, it's predominantly testosterone, whereas women, there's other issues at play. And Art is a perfect example of a guy who is vital.
Yeah.
He eats great, organic,
Yeah.
lots of vegetables. He's exercising, and he really didn't have major issues, but he felt like he passed his peak. And that's what I hear a lot. And so guys get that mental clarity lost, maybe their
Right.
concentration. Women, we think they're not paying attention,
Yeah.
which it can be that too, but often they just lose that functioning, and then they start having lack of morning erections. We don't notice it as much, but they do, and that's very self-conscious. They don't kind of
Or we do notice it and we take it personally.
exactly.
Yeah.
We think it's they don't desire us. So, but it's so much more than sex drive. I mean, guys can still have that desire again, but the function.
And that can be devastating.
Exactly, and it's horribly devastating for men, more so I think than women, because women, we in society, it's okay to not have sex drive. I'm not saying it's okay,
Right.
but our society says
yes.
it's okay. Whereas men
Are expected.
Exactly.
Are expected to have the sex drive.
right,
Yeah.
but men do not even want to talk about it. It was hard getting even a guy to talk about any of this.
Art was brave.
He was really brave.
Yeah.
Men do not want to talk about it. So the important thing for women is bring it up gently. If you know something's going up, they're maybe a little more irritable. Maybe you're noticing they're kind of avoiding sex. Maybe don't just automatically get mad, yell at them.
Or think it's you.
Right.
Or think it's you. It's
Yeah.
not always about. I mean, we think it's always about.
Oh,
us.
it's always about us,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
So, really bring it up gently and maybe say, hey, I've been going through some hormonal issues. I've gotten some help. I'm feeling better.
Yeah.
Maybe the same thing's going on with you.
Yeah.
And just bring it up very gently. And if you can't have that conversation, then seek some professional help to enhance the communication. But most guys are open if you just open that gate a little bit.
And I think you would say, if at all possible, have your hormones checked. see what your testosterone level is,
Right.
and there's lots of options out there that
Right.
we'll be discussing on another show as well. Thank you, Dr. Laurie, for joining us.
You're welcome.